Want to know what a real man would tell their lady about love and life? You're in the right place. This is Hello Ladies with Rom Wills. Rom Wills is an author, speaker, and proud father. Grab some wine, sit back, and enjoy.
Hello, ladies. Welcome to my spot. Get the fantasy man out of your head. Ladies. You know what? That fantasy guy getting you messed up. Seriously, that fantasy guy is getting y'all messed up. You know what? I remember when I did a seminar, just a live seminar. Because remember, I've said I've done seminars with women, men and women. Sometimes it's just women in there. And I remember a seminar I did. And it was trying to help the women find the right guy. But I said, that guy y'all consider ideal, get him out the picture. Because, see, here's the thing. I'll use the term fantasy man for this one. Here's the problem. That fantasy man is perfect. That fantasy man y'all got, y'all be dreaming about, y'all be touching yourselves too. That guy is perfect. That guy's going to be the perfect height that you like, right? Perfect height that you like. His body is on point, the way you like. Whatever you like in a body, whether you like slim, muscular, bulky, 300 pounds, whatever you like, he going to be that, right? Hair on point, everything. Teeth all there and smooth. And then his personality, he gonna be like whatever he have you in that perfect house, and then he's just treating you like a queen. He's just perfect. Yeah. Honey, ladies, that ain't even a good novel. Like, come on, damn. If you put some character like that in a novel, even the women won't believe that. Y'all know that. But a lot of women got that guy in there, but that's how y'all get played. I'm going to be real with y'all. I'm here to help y'all out. That's why I'm constantly like, be realistic. That's why I'm really going to push the solid man. Because a solid man ain't perfect. He just working hard like anybody else. Some days he going to come home and he might be a little cranky. You might have to just, put a plate there for him and keep walking, Or sometimes if you ain't cooking, he just in a cranky mood. You better be like, hey, baby, how you doing? I'll just let you sit here for a while. I mean, seriously, that's the one thing about solid men. But see, a lot of women looking for that fantasy man. And it was like you got a script in your mind how it should go. And I've seen a lot. I've dealt with some women like that. I remember one woman I dealt with, and everything was a script. Everything was a script. And I was like, honey, that's not me. I can't play the script, because you ain't going to meet that man. You ain't going to meet that man. Ain't nobody going to be perfect. Everybody going to have something with them. I don't care who they are. I don't care even if they got 99 great things with them. 99 great things. There's going to be something that's going to be like, okay, can I live with this? Because he's human. He fights like everybody else. He's made mistakes like everybody else. But see, a lot of women are looking for that guy. And I'm going to tell you what, a lot of women don't want to get played, but I'm going to tell you, a certain level of player can do that. And I don't mean like, gigolos or exotic dancers or something. Their whole thing is to give you the fantasy. But see, the thing is, it's a fantasy with them. But sometimes women meet that guy and he seemed perfect on all these things, and the woman just go for it. And she ignore the red flags. And see, here's the thing. You got some guys on that level who give you that fantasy. Let me say that again. You got some guys on that level who give you the fantasy. It's not common like it might have been. And it's a level of game I haven't seen taught any place. And Ron refuses to teach it. Seriously, Ron refuses to teach it, but that's what it is. And sometimes, I'm going to tell you what, even when the guy ain't running that fantasy game playing to it, sometimes a woman will play it in her own mind and see things that even a man ain't trying to do consciously. She'll tell herself some stuff, or she won't put herself. I've seen situations where women will put themselves in a position never to check if that guy might be cheating or something. Because her fantasy is, he just love her. So every little thing he do, even if it's just really just average, she thinking, oh yeah, that's great. It's that fantasy. And see, the problem with it is you get some women. Now, some women get smart. They get smart and sensible. In fact, ladies, I'm gonna just be real with you. The type of men generally like sensible women. Sensible, which means the woman sensible just means she's realistic. And even when something bad happens or he ain't perfect, the women realize, well, you know what, she ain't perfect either. They grow together. In fact, a smart woman just laugh about it. And if it's a really serious, egregious type of thing, she'll be woman enough to stop him and be like, okay, hold up, this is going to be a problem, which y'all should do. But then I've seen some women reject some guys. I mean, the guys will be the sharp ones that women try to say they want. Guys be the sharp ones, right? The dude he'll be decent looking at least. He'll be decent looking at least and, smart, educated, or making money, whatever you want. Got his own spot, got everything going on. But because he don't match the fantasy, a particular fantasy, a woman overlooking him. Instead of him being like 6'2", he's 6'1". It's like, oh, nah, he too short. Instead of him being that stylish dresser, he's more of a modest dresser or something. Instead of driving that that late model, expensive European car, he's just driving just some economy car. Yeah, he would still be good for you. Seriously. And I've seen that happen a lot. But see, I'm going to tell you what. Because this would happen when women really get into that fantasy thing. And I'm going to tell you what. It's usually a woman. The women who get into the fantasy guy the most are usually the ones who grew up in sheltered environments. That's what I've seen. Now, I ain't going to say, maybe they come up in the hood or some other place where some craziness. But I've noticed that women who grew up around some real men, like real men, especially if they had the fathers there and the father was just realistic, they tend to think, they tend to be more reasonable. They know daddy ain't going to be perfect and he ain't going to want to make love to mommy all the time, but he's still going to take care of her and they still going to have their fun anyway. But you get some women who grew up sheltered, they might, or even if they had the father, maybe they didn't see the romance between him and the mother, or the parents were good at hiding something, and that's even if her parents are together. They tend to want the fantasy. I mean, I've seen it a lot with women whose fathers weren't there. Like, they going for it. In fact, I remember talking with so many women. They dealing with a guy, and as soon as I hear it, I say, well, that guy's kind of doggy. He ain't taking you seriously, but they want the fantasy. But ladies, that's not helpful. It's not realistic, Because y'all know, ladies, come on now. Y'all know if some guys talk about they want some dime, some perfect woman, and the dudes just average themselves, y'all know y'all would clown them. Y'all like, what's wrong with y'all? Well, it's the same thing. It's the same thing with y'all, In fact, unfortunately, there's a lot of content creators pushing that whole fantasy thing, And they making money all the way to the bank because they giving you some hope that you can meet that fantasy man. In fact, I remember an occasion when I've read about it. Now, I didn't know any personally, but I've read about women who wanted some celebrity. Like, I remember back in the day, some woman wrote to Ebony magazine and said, she wanted Eddie Murphy. And the person who responded to it was kind of like, well, that might be a little difficult, especially since he got a woman and everything. And he's real famous. But she wanted Eddie Murphy. That was her fantasy guy. And it was just like, nah, you got to be realistic. Get that guy out of their head. See, once you get that fantasy out your head, once you get that fantasy guy out your head, then when you meet real men, you can appreciate them right there on the spot. And you can grab them up. When you be realistic, that's the key. You get that get the fantasy out. Get the fantasy out. Things ain't gonna probably happen that way. But you get them out your head, then all of a sudden, those good, solid men who've been there all along, you'll see them. All of a sudden, you be like, how come I ain't see you before? Because fantasy man was in the way. So get that fantasy man out of your head, ladies. If you really want to, go to another level, find a good guy who really feeling you. Get him out your head. So anyway, that's all I got for today. I'll talk to y'all. Peace and blessing.